All right. Good morning, my dogs. It is 8:50. My name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief El Jefe Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. It is Friday, and yes, I don't usually do a 6:30 club on a Friday, but guess what? I was up early this morning. I was in my sauna. I sweat out about 4 pounds of water, or maybe wine from last night. Did go out with some of the guys and watch a little baseball. Why wouldn't we? But anyway, not a great night for New York. And then went to my ice barrel. It's getting cold in that ice barrel, I'll tell you. But it's getting better. The colder, the better, right? We want to give ourselves some tough things to do. So this way you can start adding up all the little things that you say you're going to do and you do them, and that's what makes you feel good. Anyway, with that being said, oh, look what I got up here. I got the chart of Bitcoin. A lot of talk about Bitcoin this week. I don't know if you guys remember, but I made a little funny little chart last week on Friday, like right around here. And it was a turkey, really like a jack turkey doing the turkey trot, because I love to do turkey trots on Thanksgiving with my son. So I said, hey, Bitcoin could run into Thanksgiving, so let's do something funny. And meanwhile, nothing funny about making money, right? But anyway, did have a nice move in Bitcoin. Looks like it's building a nice little bull flag. Hopefully it holds above this 66,000, and then we see a move up towards range resistance. If you look at the weekly chart, the weekly chart's really exciting, right? Look at that. Had a big move to start the year. For 8 months. It's been hanging here, just triggered above 66,000. We were buying it in here. I'm long the IBIT. I'm long some miners. We're having some fun. But anyway, with that being said, 73.8 is the high end of this range. And then you have the sky's the limit, right? Because there's nothing to the left. Anyway, with that being said, figure out how you want to play it. I've said, for the past few years, if you're an asset allocator and you're like buying a certain percentage of physical gold, as a hedge, you could also be buying some Bitcoin every single month. And if you trade it for a living, you want to make sure you time it well. And we'll see if we continue the next few weeks. It's been a really good play. So hopefully you made some money there. I spoke about this last week, and I've been talking about it anyway. What are some of the names that we've been in? I've been in the CORZ, which has been fantastic. We bought it in here. Actually, we bought it when I was having the open house for the Alpha team, and basically it had a nice move, consolidated another nice move, and now it's it's not getting a lot of traction, but it's fine. You got to give it some room. We'll see how it goes. As far as the IBIT, real quickly, that's what I've been long. It's the ETF that BlackRock put out. This was your day to get big. You just had a little bit of a 2-day pull-in. We'll see what happens this morning. I did get a little bit bigger. I'm trying not to get too big too fast because I thought maybe it would come into here. It did not. And now I'm trimming some. Anyway, so that's the real quick. Oh, someone's like, why am I in Wolf? Wolf is like this kind of a miner that a lot of some of the institutions like. You could look at it more on the weekly chart. The weekly chart looks really good. If Bitcoin's going to get to 85,000 or so in the next few months, I would think that this thing can get towards 910. It's got to get above 540 first and 650. I am in stock. I am in options, and I'm going to massage it. Massage, meaning use a tier system. Anyway, let's move on. So everyone's like, Red Dog, did you play Netflix? Red Dog did not play Netflix. I did not. Okay. But I think Netflix is important. Why? Because, it's been a decent name. It's, it just pulled in. It was a decent setup considering from 736 to 667. Netflix right now is up 45 at 732. So this is really close to, the 736. So the question is for Netflix does it open up 40 and put its high in the first 5, 15, 30 minutes and fade all day? Or does it open up, consolidate, give you a big pro earnings gap and then continue to the upside, or give you at least a pro earnings gap to trade against moving forward? So how this behaves will be interesting because it had a solid report. And if they sell it, if it opens up 45 and it only, closes up 10 and gives you a big red candle, chances are, it might not be great for the other Mag 7 names, considering that they've been very lethargic. Even Meta's been lethargic later. So what I did is for Meta, I bought a little bit of 620 calls for earnings, not for today, but for earnings, because I said, hey, we just pulled in 25 points. They're cheaper now than they would be if we were near the highs. So I'd like to see Netflix hold and go. If it doesn't, chances are, and it gets really sold, Meta might even break this 574 and see the 50-day. So, how Meta reacts to today's trade will give us some clues what happens, maybe in some other earnings, because that's what we're looking for, clues from the market, not from the idiots on TV who ran and rave and don't know their arse from their elbow. And I'm one of those guys every now and then anyway. So we'll see how that goes. I am long Apple. Apple's been very tricky. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Some guys got fooled and sold it, and some guys stayed with it. It all depends on your entries and exits. So for me, I got long Apple here, okay, if you guys remember, and then it had no follow through, but I never got stopped out. 227 was my out, and it stayed above it. So while I was managing all my other positions, Apple just hung out, and then it was a good ad. Trimmed some into this 237 area, so I got smaller. So by netting money and getting smaller, this pullback to the 8-day did not bother me. Then what did I do? I raised my stop from 227 to 229, and they didn't get stopped out while I was trading everything else. So now you have Apple, hanging out up here. Let's go to Apple. Apple up $4. There you go. So what's going to happen here today? I think this time it has a better shot of getting above and staying above 237. I've trimmed some. So this is the alpha team. This is, the crew that I trade with every day. So what they do is they get to see what I do. So I've been in Apple for a while, came in with it, and I did trim some up 4 because I like to net money. That's how I make a living, by netting money and staying with trades, and we see how they work out. Yes, and these are all my positions. And there's a lot of different ones. I've been trading the cryptos. I've been trading some of the nuclear names, which were really good. I've been trading some of uranium names. I've been trying to trade some mega cap tech names and but they're not so great. What do I mean by that? Well, look at Google yesterday. Google stopped me out. Yes, it happens, and it's been doing a whole lot of nothing. I thought, hey, maybe an inverse head and shoulders pattern it can go, and then that happened. So I got stopped out yesterday, but I will revisit it at another time, maybe. Amazon looks pretty good, though. I might actually put on some calls for next week just to have on. It looks like we have a nice looking wedge type pattern here. Amazon's been really tricky. That's things, since the summer, since Jeff was just a seller. But anyway, looks pretty good. I might put on a 190 by 192 call, like 190 by 195 call spread to have some exposure next week. I have no exposure to Amazon. What I did do yesterday, which was really cool, and I've talked about it this week with the 630 Club, was FXI. I said into below 31 down to 29.50, I want to be a buyer. And right at the end of yesterday, around 2:30, I bought the $31 calls for, which you could see on the Alpha team. This is real. It's not a paper trade. What did I buy? I bought the FXI 31s for the 25th and the 31.50s for November 1st. Yesterday, that's a nice trade. Doesn't always happen, but it happened, and it's good to see it up today. So what's the FXI doing today? The FXI is up a bunch. Hey, 32.50. Anyway, nice. It's nice sometimes when that happens. Anyway, let me say hello to some of the dogs who are watching. Let's see. Here we go. So you guys could see, on YouTube and on Twitter. I don't know why we do this kaleidoscope. People are talking to me. They're talking. So we got Zerda says good morning. I got my boy Tony Wallace, who's an educator himself from Florida. He's retired. He loves the market. Bitcoin is crypto gold. I get it. Pfizer. What about, you want me to look at Pfizer? And Stefano wants me to look at Tesla. Okay. Thomas says good morning. It's not an emergency. I don't know why he put emergency. This is not an emergency meeting. This is just a powwow. It's a powwow with my iced coffee, and figured why not say hello? Why not? Why not? I was here. So anyway, hello. So with that said, FXI was a nice little pickup yesterday. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes, your instincts tell you what to do. And that's what this told me what to do. Anyway, with that being said, I also bought a little Tiger. Why did I buy Tiger?